On mute. Sorry guys, I was on mute there. Let's see. Hey Paul, how's it going? And Michael B, no sound. I just fixed that, Michael, so you should see a sound here in a second. I'm going to try to bend this down just a tad so I can see it. It's just right at my glasses level that I need glasses. Okay, make sure this is... should be all working. It's always fun doing this. Yeah, okay, now I know everything's working. So, yep, all right, thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. All right, so let's kind of wait, give it a few more minutes or something like that. Grab yourself a beverage. I have a, I don't know, what is this? This is the Kona Brewing Company. It's one of those packs that kind of multiple. It's an IPA. I'm not a big IPA fan. I actually really dislike IPAs. So this has been waiting in the refrigerator for me not to drink it, and it was the only thing to get today. Well, I didn't know that they were out of Portland, Oregon. Huh. Yeah. Out of Anarchy, Oregon. Sorry if anyone's from Oregon. It's a beautiful state, but it's it's like San Francisco. It's really cool a long time ago, but not worthwhile going now. All right, let's see. Got 4 concurrent viewers. Yay. Well, this will be one you watch later, I guess. So I'm going to kind of go on a little refresh of what's going on at Dockfire Paintball. I have just got over being sick. You guys can all figure that one out. So that was 14 days of no fun. And both my wife and I. So we're fine and healthy, which is good. If you do get sick, ask for the Regeneron treatment. It really does work. Push for it. It makes it go away much quicker. But anyway, so that is good. I'm kind of getting back into the groove of things now and trying to figure stuff out. And I've got some more fires that came in, and I've actually sold several of them. But I still have some stuff available. I've had a couple people ask me some questions about them, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them here. But this gray one, you guys hopefully be able to see at events. So if you see me at any local events in the Sacramento area or the Northern California, I'm going to try to start hitting up more events. I tried to hit up the Capital Edge had that NXL event, but I was sick, so that didn't happen. Didn't want to go there infecting people. That would not be good. But this is my personal fire. So this is Fire 000P. This is the prototype fire. Show you guys here. It's exactly the same. The prototypes ended up being perfect. You didn't change anything in the stuff. And so this is this one you'll see at an event. And for those that have never shot a shock deck before, I'm willing to loan out either that fire or my Desert Fox to shoot, which I'm going to kind of go through a little long-term review on the Desert Fox. I kind of do that now. Or maybe I'll save it for another video. I'll do a long-term review on the Desert Fox. You guys want to... Should I do a long-term review on the Desert Fox? What my opinions are? Because I did a review on it 2 years ago, and I just recently received it. And it's my primary shooter, so should I do a review now? Or should I do that as a whole separate review and kind of go through the whole thing? I think let me know. Let me know in the comments what I should do. But anyway, sure I'm keeping up with the comments, which is a whole whopping hardly any. And I do appreciate the folks that are in here. Paul, yes, please, Paul, for now or later. It would probably be a little bit more in depth. So, hey, Chuck. Chuck's a good guy. I've worked on several Chuck's markers that he has. Has some really nice stuff that he sends. And he sends stuff to me when stuff is a little bit, and he has trouble on kind of things, but he's a pretty good tech himself. So he only sends me the tough stuff. But anyway, Chuck sent me. If you guys saw that video. Oh, let's see the Desert Fox. Okay, I'll put that out there for someone. Chuck just sent me. You'll see that video on the channel. It's that dust black or dark gray and red splash, or red with gray splash free flow. It's actually a really it's free flow Millennium. Really pretty gun. I think he's the second owner on it or something like that. But anyway, really nice gun. Thanks, Chuck, for sending it to me. That was a lot of fun to work on, and get that set up to the way that you like it. Hopefully you're happy with it. Yeah, all right. So the Fire series, I just got these in. This is Ember. This is the burnt orange, and man, it's so hard to get these colors. You know, it's like when I look on the screen right now, it looks almost like a bright orange. It's not. It's a burnt orange, almost a copper orange. It is. You know, if I were to get the anno jobs that I want, they would all look like this dust one, or black. And but I can't do that because I would never sell anything. So I have to kind of, you know, pick stuff that I maybe wouldn't be for me. Quite frankly, I didn't think I liked orange until I saw this one. It's stunning. So this is a market that's available currently right now. Additionally, we have the smoke. And this is commonly referred to as the doo-doo brown anojob. It's a brown and black acid wash. And this thing is, I can even show it up here too. I don't know if this light's probably not enough good enough light there. Let's see if it actually comes through. But this is the brown and black acid. And the funny thing with these is it's so hard to take good photos with these. This is another color that I would personally own. It is an awesome looking gun. But the doo-doo brown, or the black and brown acid, I think the doo-doo brown thing comes from, like, someone was talking to me about back in the days with there was some angel that one guy used to play with that was the same type of he called it the doo-doo brown. But this is another stunning looking one. So this is a premium, or the mid-premium anojob on it. And, you know, it's not just a gloss or just a solid. It's just a multicolor. And the brown one comes with a Ninja Pro V2 regulator that I run on my NIST certified transducer to give a accurate pressure. So if anyone's curious what that is, here's my NIST certified. It's ESI Technologies. This is what I use. This is what I test my other transducers against, and this one gets certified for its accuracy. And then I use that same transducer to measure the output of that Ninja Pro V2 before it goes out. So the customer gets a copy of that reading, so they know exactly what it's outputting. And the Ninjas, all the tank rigs kind of have this output range. And so, yes, it's an 850 Ninja regulator, and it's but rarely are they outputting 850. It's always dependent on how the springs that they have, the Belleville washers they have in there, or springs on you know, they're always a little bit different for each one, but I think they always have in some range. And but quite frankly, if it's an autococker, anything above 600 psi, anything above 500 psi, I think is fine. I always try to stick in that 700 up range, just because I want the pressure on that. But anyway, so let's see. I'm kind of going to tell you, Rich. I just saw Rich here not too long ago. Rich is a friend of mine, and we were working. I was actually working on some guns for him to sell. And actually, let's see if I can pull something else up here real quick. This isn't one of Rich. Rich dropped this off for me. You guys can hear me as I walk away. How about this for an old school throwback? This is this actually came. This is from Mark Davis, and it's Mark Davis. I think this is Aaron Carter's shoebox, and so Aaron did some mods of this. So it's been sitting for a long time and needs to get up and running. And so Mark Davis sent it to me through Scotty, who goes down and visits Mark quite frequently. But anyway, so if you guys haven't bought anything from Scony, from Master Scony Paintball, go over and check that place out. He has a lot of cool stuff, some stuff that you don't normally see on other stores, and I know he has a big sale going on right now on some products. So don't hesitate. Hit up Master Scony Paintball, and you'll see some cool stuff there. Definitely. But yeah, I got to go through this one marker for Scony. If you guys are interested, just so I don't know if I should do this, but I think this is going for sale here pretty soon. This is actually a really mint black Max Flow, the newer Max Flow regulator. Drop, you know, it's got a drop on it, but you can put it either which way you want. But I think this is, I just went through that and it works fine, and actually regulates really good. If you guys ever used the Max Flows, anyone was familiar with them? They're actually amazing regulator. You can use it as a primary regulator. What if the old Planet Eclipse had that with the gas through grips? They had those. But anyway, let's see what else is going on. Steve Blair, I have one of those Carter Dye prototype cockers. Oh, Steve, you got to throw a photo up. Throw it up on Dockfire Paintball. Or if you guys haven't gone, if you guys are autococker folks and you haven't gone to Make Autocockers Great Again, the MAGA paintball site, the trigger site on Facebook, go ahead, hit that up, sign up. It's just a group, right? You know, and a lot of, you know, autococker stuff. And throw up one of those, Steve, throw that photo up on the MAGA group. Because we're just trying to make, you know, autocockers great again. Well, I think they always will be great, but that's just me. But anyway, the Fire series, get them at DockfirePaintball.com right now. And kind of a little update on Dockfire Paintball. Everything's going good. I have Hogue grips back in stock, which I seem to really fly through those. So I have the palm swells and the wraparound grips in the rubber back in stock. I have the Shock Tech Master kits. And I got to maybe figure out, I may kind of change, not the kits, what comes in the kits, but kind of how I'm marketing them. But I think when you go to the Master kits, basically Master kit is if you have, let's say an older gun, right? Here's an old free flow gun, an old free flow body. We're going to talk about this in a minute. But let's say you have something like that, and it has some old pneumatics on it that are pitted and corroded and stuff like that. And you know, it's due for, I mean, it's not that they're bad, maybe it's just due for a refresh, and you want to look good out there, right? You know, you don't want to shoot garbage, you want to look good. Man, get one of these kits from Dockfire Paintball from my store, and it's a whole kit, and it has 3 different levels. So, you know, the master level has the gunfighter frame, the beaver tail, basically everything you bolt onto it, outside of your back block, your front block, and I think banjo bolt. I think they're really designed for full body kits. But everything else is a new lower tube kit. You get a new bolt. You get the front pneumatics. You get the beaver tail. You get all the parts, 90% of the parts that you need to kind of refresh that cocker. And if you haven't done so, I bet you're going to see some stuff on Master Scony Paintball. He always has a good list of some older stuff. If you haven't, okay. I'm looking at what Steve has to say here. I'm trying to keep up with all this. Let's see, Steve. Yes, I will. Carter milled bodies for the reflex die. Picked the other. Huh, cool. Oh, other body. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, just Carter used to work for Dye. That's right. He was and then so I think he was doing a lot of designs, and whatever they picked, they went with. You know, I don't know about you guys. I like autocockers. I really do, and obviously that's what my store's about. But you know, I've never liked the reflex. I just think it's ugly. But, you know, I think it's like anything. You know, I'm sure people think that the Dockfire gun is ugly, and that's fine. You know, everyone has their own, and I'm fine with that. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt over stuff like that. But I just never liked the reflex cocker. I don't know why. It's just me. You know, and that's okay. That's definitely okay. So, How many people, if anyone, go to the anyone in the Sacramento area went to the NXL event there at Capitol Edge? It's hot in my garage. It's actually warmed up here in California. I wanted to go to it, but I was a little sick, so wasn't able to go to it. Let's see what else is going on here. All right, so got these guys here. So we had this red gun out here. So we had this free flow. This is a, man, I get so confused on the free flow bodies, so I'm going to screw this one up. It's not, I know it's on a Millennium, and it's a lockout edition. No, it's not a lockout. It's kind of one of the first gen, pretty simple mill jobs. Sorry, it's really warm in here. It definitely got warmed up here in California. So it's but I bought this. This is the first free flow I've ever owned, and I bought it about 2 years ago. Quite frankly, I've owned a lot of autocockers, and I've never owned a free flow. Quite frankly, I'll tell you why. It's nothing against free flow. Like, they make cool stuff. It was back in the day. I remember I didn't have any money, and I think I ran a Tin Man. And don't get me wrong, it was a great gun. And I remember the rich kids from Folsom, and they had free flows. And there'd be like this one kid that had like a different gun every couple weeks. So you come with like a new free flow or something like that. Whatever was new, his dad would buy it for him, and his dad drop him off. And so, and it, it's probably, a super guy, stuff like that. But I always thought that, I don't know, it was kind of douchey. It just kind of turned me off of free flows. But they make some really cool stuff back in the day. I think if you saw that video that I did here not too long ago. Oh, it's a Fulcrum. Thank Rich. Rich, that's a Fulcrum. I'm trying to catch up on stuff here. First conquer is number up. Hey, cool, Steve. That's awesome. I don't remember. My first one's a 99 spec. So it's got the square cut on the front. It came with a polymer Luger frame style. And that was the first one that I could afford. It's just standard black. Bought it from Ace Hardware in Folsom, California, actually kind of Folsom, Sacramento area. It was at Ace Hardware, and they had a paintball store in there. Rich is familiar with it. I know that because he knows those guys. And that's where I bought it from. It's $399 or $499, I think. And that was the first autococker that I owned. Outside of that, I had mags. The funny thing is, I won a mag. I won a RT mag right when they came out. And there was an internet. The internet was kind of, newer, and paintball was just hitting the internet. And it was interesting. They had this. I can't remember what site it was. It was kind of like an informational site. It wasn't Warpig. I don't think that wasn't around yet. And they had there was some advertisement stuff like that on it. But they had in the back of one of the APG magazines had the the advertisement for this website, which is pretty interesting. You advertise in a magazine for a website. I always thought that was interesting. And now it's like, you advertise on the internet for a magazine. But you could win a gun, and this RT was one of them, and I entered it, and I think maybe like 20 people entered it. I won it. I won an RT, that first gen RT Automag, and I remember when I got the box, I was all excited and opened it up, and it said compressed air only, and I'm like, well, that sucks. But anyway, so I ended up trading it for an Automag and a Spider at Predator Paintball with OPOC. OPOC ended up shooting the thing. I think he customized it or something like that. But that's just kind of a little side note. So I didn't get into, not that I didn't want to get into cockers, I just couldn't afford any of that stuff back then. But anyway, so I bought this. The first gun I bought in a long time. I know I kind of went off sidetrack there. This is the first free flow that I bought in a long time. I just picked one up from Rich that I'm working on cleaning up. That I like. It's a center feed, but it's similar to this. But anyway, this one I got, and of course it's one of those deals that you get burned in the end, right? And it was a complete gun, had the free flow pneumatics on it and stuff like that. But when I opened up to take it apart and clean it and do all the things that you normally do, someone had installed the valve and didn't Loctite the jam nut, and so all the jam nut threads are gone. So this I took apart today, and it's probably going to go to Angry Antle Autocockers to have Jason Antle go through and 11/16 velvet, but I think I'm just going to 11/16 velvet, but I'm going to keep everything 99 spec. I'm decided. I may have them do some other kind of weird things on it, but I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe just a total, sleeper. But I have to 11/16 it. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. So he's just going to bore that out a little bit more, and then I'll just run 11/16 velvet. The ano is actually really nice on it. It's really clean ano. So I think it got damaged a long time ago and just never really got used. So this, too bad. But anyway, another thing, if you guys haven't seen these, you can see that in the reflection. I'll see here in a second, as there is a delay for me here. I've been working on gun stands, and so these are 3D printed. This black part's 3D printed, and then obviously this is Lexan material, plexiglass, whatever you want to call it. And then I have a laser. I don't know if you can see it in the background here. They're behind me. Which one here? I have a CO2 epilogue laser, really nice one. And then my fiber laser. And anyway, I'm doing these. If people want these, they can contact me, and I'll put your team name or whatever. If you wanted an Lexan, I can do that. I have wood. I'm working on what's called, like, you ever seen the river tables where they pour the epoxy as all those colors? I have some of that stuff I've messed with. So I can do some pretty custom stuff. You go to my website and you look at gun stands, and you'll see you can buy just these little blocks. And the nice thing about my blocks is I'm not beefing about anyone else's design. Everyone has a cool design. Everyone has their thing. I wanted something that was simple, that I could display a marker at an event or something like that and be fairly simple. And what I went with are these fittings. So this is no trade secret. You go to your hardware store and you get your, I think it's 1/2 inch tapered thread, and this screws in perfectly to this and tightens down. And then this is a hexagon. So this is just basically a PVC, and I'm machining a little groove into it, but you don't have to. And the nice thing about this, it's not 3D printed, and I've seen these fail. And so I kind of, when I saw this and I go, hey, it's hexagon, I can just create a little hexagon and everything slides in there, and you can adjust it to wherever it needs to be. And that was the whole idea behind it. And then you could have, if this were to go bad, you can go down to your hardware store and pick up another one. And, whatever reason, it's not something like the stand's dead. And then everything else is very robust. And then I put a little hole in the side here. So if you wanted to, that's why that little groove's in there, but you can run a 10, I think it's an 832 or 1032 screw down in there, little set screw, and you can lock it in place if you wanted to. So it'd be a little bit more of a deterrent to steal it off the stand, but I guess they could just steal the whole stand along with it. But anyway, we had these at Super Game Oregon, and we displayed all of the markers there for the folks that showed up at the Killshot Customs booth. Dan Vazzani from Killshot Customs does the Kraken. Speaking of the Kraken, we had those there. The Kraken, we had Jason Antle with the Antle guns. We had Ryan Jameson from RJ Paintball with the Jameson guns, and we had the fire guns, some other shock deck guns. Mark Davis was there. Sconey was there. A lot of other folks were there. And although it was a quiet event this last year, it was pretty cool to have a big vendor tent with all of these, what I look at as players in it. But here's my Kraken. This is Kraken number 3. And it's marked on there somewhere. And this is mine. It's a pewter color done by Anotech in Fresno. And I just wanted a pewter. I don't really like this beaver tail. This is probably going to leave. It was an add-on afterwards. And so this is my Kraken Autococker, and you can see it says Dockfire there. Yep, because Dan Vazzani took care of me on that one. And myself and Shane Burns, Washington Rain, out of Washington State. We were both friends with Dan pretty good, and we both got kind of the first couple ones off the mill. And yeah, really nice stuff. Oh, by the way, on eBay is one of these body kit number 11 for sale from Killshot Customs. He had a body that had not a machining error, is where a tool didn't machine deep enough in a little area, and it was fixable just by going and doing a cleanup pass. he pulled it off and set it aside and forgot that he set everything aside, and then to do a cleanup pass and he found it. So he's offering number 11 up, and these things, they don't make them anymore. There was only so many made, and these are like uber rare. So go hit up Killshot Customs. Dan Bizzani. Look on eBay for the Kraken Autococker body kit, and you'll see it. It may already sold. I don't know. No. It's really hot in the garage. It actually was beautiful weather here in California here not too long ago, and now it really stinks, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. Hey, Jake from Bearded Works. How's it going, buddy? I'm kind of catch up on stuff here. That's an awesome color. I get what he's talking about there. I love those guys from Washington Rain. See. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, you guys, all right, let's look at this stuff. All right, yeah. That, fitting. So what fitting? I don't know what fitting you're talking about. Anyway, what else is going on? Let's look at some other stuff I brought out here. Oh, here's a pickup that I got. Now, there's some bucket list guns out there that you got to get every once in a while, right? And so I got this. I have a black Supercocker 99, and I picked this thing up a few months ago on eBay. And I won the auction I didn't think I was going to win it. To tell you the truth, I was shocked when I got notified, because I put what I was going to pay for it, and then I just left it, and I ended up winning it by $1. I mean, barely, skin of my teeth. And so I picked this Supercocker. It didn't look that good on the page, but it ended up being, let's use some goobers on there, but fingerprints, but it is mint. I don't think this thing was ever used. And I reached out to Danny Love and said, hey, can you dig through your pile of leftover stuff and find me the best quality chrome pneumatics you can get? And he rustled some stuff up for me that was in really, really mint condition. And so I have essentially an LPR, the 3-way, and the RAM, which I upgraded to the ShockTech stuff because stuff was on here was it was worn out. This pitted. It's just, the natural pitting that some of that chrome stuff gets, or nickel plated stuff, and then everything else is stock. Stock bolt, ShockTech bolt, and stuff like that. And then the only thing I did put in it is I put this. It's a ShockTech plate. I put one of the new ShockTech plates. You can get these on Dockfire paintball. They made 2K spec trigger plates. Really nice one. If you want to do some upgrades to your guns, really nice thick plates. And this thing feels buttery smooth. But this is my 99 Supercocker, and it's literally mint. And there isn't a scratch on it that I can find. But anyway, it's cool. Pretty neat. Put this back over here. Trying to think things that are new. Let's see. Bearded Works, rub it in. I don't know what I'm rubbing it in, Jake. Were you bidding on that thing? Maybe you were bidding on it. Maybe did I beat you out of that? Sorry. You probably beat me out with some guns. That happens. I hear the shop dog, as Jason would say. Hey, shop dog, get over here. He just stole something, little bastard. Comes in and he's like Jason's dog. Comes in and he pees on things and then he eats O-rings. And then leaves little surprises for you. But anyway, let me move some of this stuff. Don't hesitate. Go and buy yourself a Fire Series. Available right now. I'm going to put these off to the side so I don't drop them. That would really suck because that would be a scratch and dent sale for someone. Let's see. Other thing I was going to kind of quickly talk about. People are asking about these nut drivers, and these are the WIA, I think I'm pronouncing them right. The WIA brand nut drivers, and I have them available on Dockfire's paintball, and quite frankly, they're the same prices. You're going to find them on, Slamazon and those places. I try to keep things. I have to, if I'm going to carry it, I have to be able to make sure I can at least get it for a price that I could sell it at Slamazon prices, because I can't. a lot of times you can't compete with that that large of a company, and just a little small garage shop like myself. But these are the common sizes. So one are for your 3-way barbs on like Inception, Shock Tech, and most other things, A&S, bell cells and stuff like that. And then the other one is for your War Games barbs, which are that kind of funky size. And then, you know, the really fat ones is pretty tough to get the hose on there. And the other one is your 1/4 inch for your kind of like your LPR barb and stuff like that. But I have these available. It's worthwhile. It's kind of a neat thing to have. We're back up here in the little holders. I had it here because I wanted to show you guys. And then kind of like I don't want to do this as like a big sales thing, but you know, I do have a website, so I don't, you know, that's not about that. But it's really about, you know, it's kind of like I ran Dockfire Down and Dirty reviews for years now, and I really haven't done a lot of reviews because it's kind of tough to do them now because I know I sell stuff. So as soon as I did give a negative review on something, everyone's going to slam me like, oh, it's because you have Shock Tech stuff, and that's the only thing you like. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily the case, but okay. So it's not worthwhile for that headache from the Facebook keyboard Nazis to even worry about. So, but I do have some stuff. I always try to pass things along, and I got a fly in here that's flying around my head. Of course, where's the little bastard? I need to get my salt gun. Find that thing. But if you haven't got yourself, I'm going to show you some simple tools. Get these all out there. These are, I don't know, you can buy these on Slamazon. I don't care because they're so cheap to have, but these are hose cutters, and they're for a nice square cut on your Macroline hose. And they make a really nice sharp square cut. So if you don't have yourself a set of these, get yourself a set, because using the razor blade sucks. These are nice. They last a long time because it's the only thing you're cutting out of these hoses. And they're worth the $4 that they are, I think, on Slamazon. You buy yourself a couple of them. Give one to a friend. I always recommend that. Buy something and give it to a friend. The other thing is you can find on Slamazon is you find these, like, where do we have pencils anymore? You know, but you can find these, and you got the ones that are made in Germany with a German blade on it. These brass ones, and just for a standard pencil. And then I use these that I put my hose in there. I just lightly spin the hose around to just continue to create a nice little bevel. Just take that sharp edge off after you cut. And then finally, this is a little big, but you can find any type of a chamfer device. You can go to a hardware store, they have like little chamfer bits. And I just put this in the center here, and I just spin it real quick, and I make sure that any burrs that were on the inside here are cleaned up. And it basically saves the O-rings on your stinking Macroline stuff, right? It saves these little O-rings. When you jam this in there, you're not clipping that O-ring, that number 10 O-ring in there. And it's, I don't know, I always look at it this way, that, yeah, they're 10 O-ring, it's quick, easy fix, right? You just pop this collar off, put another 10 in there. But it's inevitable that you're at the field with none of your tools or things, or extra O-rings or whatever, and you clip it, and that sucker just pisses air out all day long, which sucks, right? That's so I don't know. Get yourself this little German pencil sharpener. If you have pencils, then great. You know, you have a pencil sharpener also. But I just use it for my Macroline, and then I have some. This is for a firearms for cleaning shells or some crazy thing. It's actually a tad bit too big. And then obviously these are like $4 or $5. Worthwhile hit if you get them. I'm trying to see if I'm catching up on anything. Yeah, let's see what else is going on here. Hope everything's still working. I hope the video is not skippy or not. But anyway, and then let's see what else I got to talk about. Oh yeah, it's right here. Let me move this out of the way. Put this over here. All right, move this, the Desert Flex, which I'm going to do a video, but I'm not going to do it on this video. I'll do one later. I need to do a long-term video on this. How this is working, holding up long-term. Put this off to the side. It falls, and this fine tech mat. Now, you guys know I've had a lot of different tech style mats. I have my tech trays, which the silicon trays, which I absolutely love. It's nice because I can blow stuff out, and those and screws don't go everywhere. But then sometimes it's kind of nice to have like a mat, right? Let me take it here. So I have these are made in the USA. I have a company that print these for me, and so these are a little bit bigger, but this is they're like a giant mouse pad, right? And I took some artwork from Shock Tech, which is all the gunfighter stuff and how to set up a gunfighter frame, and then their logo, and then the Fire series down here, if you can see that. Bring it over here. You guys see that? But I did that, and these are available on Dockfire Paintball. Very cool mats if you just want something that's a little different. And I didn't make many of these. I don't know how they're going to sell, and so but they're available. I made this one, and then I made the one that either people love or they hate. And I'm going to roll this one up and get it out of the way. And this is the Dockfire. This is my tech bench. And so this one's funny. It's I only did a few of these. So there's only like 5 or 6 of these. I made a whole bunch of the other ones, but not many of these because I didn't know how popular they'd be. But if you look, you can kind of see if I could bend, I can't bend that. But basically I took a picture of my tech bench after I was working on someone's gun and had some different weird parts there. Just random stuff. And it's kind of funny, like if you actually had things on here, if like I put some like stuff on it, some tools, it's kind of funny because let's see, I gotta look at the delay. Stuff disappears. It's funny as hell. So it's almost, I think it's kind of a joke, Matt. I think it's hilarious. But it's, I think if you're at an event and you want to look like you play the part, get Dockfire's tech bench there. How great would it be is to be able to have this there, and then when someone comes up and they're like, hey, I need to use that tool, and then they grab it, they can't grab it. But anyway, I think it's just funny. I got a kick out of it. Stuff like that. What is he saying? Hey, this Wayne Mills. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? I played with Wayne and his brother-in-law at Super Game. Wayne was at Super Game with us, and I built one of Wayne's cockers, literally 2 days before we left to go Super Game. And then kind of a fun, Wayne, I'm not going to make fun of you, but I'm going to kind of a funny story. Wayne played paintball for a long time, and then he kind of got out of it and just recently got back into it. And he got a couple cockers and with a whole bunch of Inception parts, and we put it together and made a pretty nice cocker. We went to Super Game Oregon, and they had GI paint. And I don't know if you guys have been shooting GI paint lately. It's kind of not round. I want to beef on GI, but not getting round paint, and then like right after kind of like big COVID shutdowns, and you spend all this money and you get like footballs. Now, granted, everyone was shooting footballs there, and I've heard that this has been pretty common with GI lately, which is sad. Because there are such a big paint bidder. But anyway, Wayne was pretty frustrated because his gun was all over the place, and he goes, "Man, this gun's not shooting good." And blah blah blah. And I go, "Hey, let me look at it." And I look at it, and I go, "Well, did you size the barrel to your paint?" "Oh, yeah. And I go, so then I kind of look at it again, and I said, well, the timing seems right and stuff like that. And of course, Dylan Mazzales is there, and he was telling me, he was giving me advice, which, was appreciative, but not necessarily needed all the time. And so, so eventually I look at Wayne, I go, so what's it doing? He goes, it's got a swing over it says like, sometimes it will shoot like 290, and the other times it will shoot like 260. And I'm like, oh, just swing for the middle. And what do you mean? I said, the paint is so horrible here. We're all over the chrono. When the ball goes as a long football down the barrel, it's a 260. As it gets tight in the barrel, it's a 290. And so hopefully you can get 1 or 2 across the chrono that's low, and the ref just moves you on. I said, just keep going for that. But I said, your gun's shooting fine. And so really when he realized that everyone was having the nightmare, then his bad day became a good day, and went out and hopefully had a lot of fun. So anyway, Wayne, I'm sorry to call you out there, buddy, but I'm not really calling you out. I think it was a funny story. Let's see. Oh, let's talk Loctite. Yeah, because this is not a controversial topic at all, right? As you know, obviously, I'm a shock tech dealer, and so with that, I do have some warranty stuff that I can do that may change here in the near future. But I talked to Danny about green Loctite, and I said, "Man, green Loctite sucks." And he goes, "Why?" And he goes, "That's hard to get off." And he goes, "What do you mean it's hard to get off? Have you tried to get the green Loctite off?" And I go, "Nah, I just heard about it. Just as, it's green Loctite. It's like red. Red sucks too. Why people use red on paintball, I have no idea. I mean, there's places for it." And he goes, "Well, there's a lot of different, there's like colors, but a lot of different compounds." And he goes, "I use Loctite 680, the Loctite brand." I don't know if you can see that here. Maybe I can bring it up in this screen. Let's see if it shows there. Loctite 680s. Don't buy it off Amazon because you don't know if it's not the real stuff. There's a lot of fake stuff on Amazon. I think you guys can see it there. I hope you can see it. But anyway, he goes, "I use 680. He goes, "Get yourself a bottle and give it a try." And he goes, "I use a heat gun to remove it, to basically break it free." If you go to Loctite's website, and it's Hinkle, I think is the actual company name, Henkel, Hinkle. And you look at the specs of Loctite 680, and you look at the release specs on it, it's like, I don't know, 400 degrees or something like that, which isn't really that hot. And actually a lot of the Loctites like that. But it's called retaining compound. And for slip fit. So people say it was designed for sleeves on motors. Yeah, maybe. But I started using this because it sets up really quick. So like when I Loctite a pump arm onto a ram, which I do for a reason, because I want to set things when I'm working on someone's gun that's going off to someone that I have no clue on what their capabilities are. Usually people that are pretty tech savvy don't send other techs guns. Not saying that, and some do. Some just don't want to deal with it, right? But usually folks that are really teching or building their own cockers, a gun tech's never going to see. And you can ask Jake on this. He could probably agree with me on this, and I'm sure some of the other folks on here can probably agree with me. But I started using this, and actually use it on my own stuff. I set it up to the way I want it, and I don't want it to move. And it doesn't. It sets up quick. And it's great. So I use this for pump arms and to the ram. And then I'll use it not on small screws, but 90% on pump arms. If I'm building a shock tech gun for shock tech, which I've built one for a test gun for Danny to inspect my building stuff, I followed his directions on where this goes. And it really doesn't go in a ton of other places, but we'll leave it at that. Oh, hold on a second. I got to close the door because my wife's home, and I don't want the dog to get out. All right, I'm back. The dog is home. 2 concurrent viewers. So anyway, if you're tech and stuff, look into this. For pump arms, you don't use a small bottle. Works pretty good. My wife just opened the garage door, so we'll get to hear the car, and she'll probably yell at me in Spanish. That's okay. The other one I use, and you can buy this on my website, Vibratite 111. This is the low Threadlocker for low strength. This is the stuff that I use on fittings without Teflon tape. It works amazing. And I use this like on the 3-way little set screws. Works amazing. I like it a lot. I've had good luck with it. If you're happy with what you're using, continue using it. If you want to try some other stuff, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. And there comes my wife. Hey, I'm live streaming right now, so okay. If you don't want to be on television, she's gone. All right, she's ignoring me. Hey, I'm live streaming. I think she's got her earplugs in. Hold on, I'm on the internet. I'm on the live stream. If you don't want to get in the footage, do you want to get in the camera? You have to look there. There's my wife.
Hi.
Hi. All right, I'm heading on out. All right. Really? Okay, get out of here, crazy woman. All right, so that is it for today's live stream. This is season 1, episode 4, and thanks for all the tons of people that showed up. Which really wasn't a ton, but I'm happy for anyone showing up, to tell you the truth. And it kind of makes a Saturday go by a little better. I should be playing paintball, but I'm still getting over being sick. So that's what I have, folks. Everyone have a great time, and I'm out of here.